In the last couple of years, Hornby seemingly shook up the model railway hobby by introducing the TTS Sound range, a range of DCC Sound decoders that won't break the bank. It's been incredibly successful to the point where they started selling the sound decoders separately, such was the demand. But how exactly has Hornby managed to make a successful range of sound decoders that cost about a third of the price compared to the more specialist options? And how do these decoders compare to said specialist options? Well, that is what I hope to find out as we delve into the wild world of DCC Sound. So to start with, what exactly is TTS? TTS stands for Twin Track Sound, which means the decoder has the ability to play two different sound files at once. This, for instance, would be the chuffing sound effect and one other effect, like a whistle or the fireman shoveling coal. This does limit you slightly, but it is easy to work around and not too much of an issue. So how exactly does Hornby manage to offer DCC sound at such a low price? To look into this, I have here one of Hornby's recent castles fitted with a TTS chip. For the most part, TTS sound is pretty good. It adds another layer into your layout and can also increase the enjoyment factor you can get. However, after you've been using it for a while, you'll start to realise that it is somewhat basic in what it can offer. And this is where the price point begins to make a little bit more sense. For instance, if you ever looked across YouTube before buying and listened to the sounds across multiple locos, you'll realise quite a few sounds are shared amongst different locos. Past the chuff and the whistles, they're very similar sounds. Also, the sound effects themselves, a lot of them, sound very fake, almost like they've just asked a sound engineer to replicate a sound in a manageable file for the chip. The basicness of the chip also shows through with my biggest bugbear for TTS by a long shot. Well, with Steam anyway. The chuff rate. There is no way to alter this. A Castle with its 4 cylinders produces 4 chuffs per wheel rotation. For future reference, 3-cylinder locos make 3 chuffs per rotation, and 2-cylinder locos also make 4 per rotation. This chip is making about 1 chuff per rotation at slower speeds, and maybe 2 at higher speeds. And it frankly looks pretty terrible. And it's one of the main reasons why I only have 2 TTS Steam locos in my fleet. Before we move on, I just want to touch briefly on the subject of can you make TTS better? To an extent, yes. The speaker the chips come with is somewhat basic. And if you look through YouTube, you'll find a couple of videos which show off different types of speakers, and I would thoroughly recommend giving those a look at. They're easy to install, and will make the sounds on the chips sound a lot better. It all depends on what your preference is. So, how is the TTS option different to the specialist brands such as YouChoos, House, ESU and Southwest Digital? Well, for starters, the sounds you hear are recorded from actual engines. This model of a Castle here, which has conveniently just turned up, has sounds recorded from an actual castle. Nunny Castle, to be precise. This actual field reconnaissance work is one of the main reasons why the price is that much higher. The chips themselves are also of a higher quality and feature much more features. For instance, this chip from YouChoos has their own sound files and utilises a Zimo chip, which offers you things like active braking, where you actually control the brakes to slow the engine down, and quick select, which will alter the different types of sound effects from an engine with a heavy load to a light engine with much quieter and softer chuffs. And even has the ability for when an engine is sat around idling, realistic random effects will play out. Lastly, without trying to sound too much like an advert for these chips, and I promise you I haven't been paid anything to feature these, mostly because I'm not that important, they are infinitely more customizable. To give you a taste of the difference of the customization, this is the CV table for a TTS decoder. And this, on the other hand, is the CV table for the Zimo decoder, which includes the option to get a more realistic rate of chuff, which was a surprisingly important selling point, for me at least. CVs are the customizable values, which basically tell the decoder how to behave. So to save me harping on about all the different ins and outs of each chips, here are the two running together and you can make your own decisions. Both of these chips are running standard speakers and have had very little customization done to them. So it's pretty much what you see here is what you'll get. So there we have it. Is TTS Sound a viable alternative to high quality DCC sound? In my opinion, it is not. However, if you don't view it as the same as the likes of ESU, House, Digitrains and the like, and for what it is, a very basic, cheap system aimed at a wider audience and beginners, and that is when you realise what TTS Sound is all about. Another aspect of railway modelling available for a wider audience. It is for DCC Sound what the railroad range is to mainstream models. So, that's my rambling done for today. Thank you for watching, and thank you for coming back. Be sure to click the like and subscribe, and click that little bell icon to get notifications when I upload. It's not as often as it used to, so it's all the more reason to click the bell. I'm not going to be spamming you with crap. You just get the occasional bit of crap. Enjoy!